When life is pushed to a fragile edge, every creature must fight to survive. A small mistake can end an entire journey of existence. Silent conflicts erupt into fierce battles between instinct and fate. Every movement is a gamble: survive or be eliminated from the circle of life. And this is the moment the animal documentary reveals the most brutal secrets of the wild. In the heart of northern Namibia, a vast white sea stretches endlessly under the sun, silent, shimmering, and seemingly devoid of life. This is Etosha, a land sculpted by salt and wind, where beauty is born from desolation. When the rains finally arrive, the transformation is nothing short of a miracle. The lifeless pan becomes a glittering lake, drawing countless flamingos from all over southern Africa. In a fleeting moment, the emptiness explodes with color. Pink wings are reflected on the silver water. A dance of life which vanishes as quickly as it appears. As night falls, another world awakens. The rhinoceros, ancient and armored, emerges from the shadows to drink under the dim moonlight. Ghosts of a wild Africa that still endures. To the Ovambo people, this is Etosha, the Great White Place. Since 1907, it has stood as one of Africa's most ancient reserves, a kingdom where survival writes its story in dust, salt, and silence. Welcome to Etosha, the great white wilderness, where life defies the impossible. Often called the jewel of Namibia, Etosha National Park is home to 4 of Africa's 5 iconic large species: the elephant, lion, leopard, and the critically endangered black rhino. In 2024, Namibia suffered its most severe drought in over a century. Across Etosha, the waterholes vanished. Hippos, creatures inseparable from water, were trapped in the drying mud, their skin cracking under the relentless sun. Blue wildebeest and plains zebras pressed onward in their ceaseless search for water, their journey guided only by instinct and hope. By early 2025, the rains had returned. With them came renewal. The grasslands revived, and the park stirred once more. Giraffes, steenbok, and rare species like the black-faced impala seized the opportunity to graze. Attracting predators in their wake as the life cycle of Etosha began anew. Located in northern Namibia, about 310 miles from the capital, Windhoek, Etosha emerges as a majestic sanctuary in the heart of southern Africa. From May to October, the dry season envelops the park in a harsh, unforgiving heat. Dust swirls across the landscape under a relentless sun, setting the stage for a timeless cycle of survival. Daytime temperatures regularly soar from 95 to 118 degrees Fahrenheit, creating an extremely arid environment. Natural water sources all but disappear. As water becomes scarce, the herbivores are forced to converge at these remaining oases. Their concentrated presence attracts predators, turning these few waterholes into unwilling battlegrounds. During this time, Okauquejo emerges as a vital refuge. Attracting visitors eager to witness the remarkable biodiversity that thrives despite the hardships of this harsh landscape. Located just 10.5 miles from the Anderson Gate, Ocauquejo is renowned for its illuminated, man-made waterhole, where visitors can observe wildlife day and night. The black rhino, with its powerful build, stands up to 5 feet tall and weighs around 3,000 pounds. This formidable creature bears 2 horns that grow continuously throughout its life. Despite its name, the black rhino's skin is actually a grayish-brown, often appearing brown from the dust and mud that cakes on during wallowing. A crucial behavior that helps cool its body and repel parasites. Unlike the grass-eating white rhino, the black rhino is a browser. It uses its pointed, prehensile upper lip, much like a finger, to grasp tender leaves and pull them from thorny bushes. It can survive for several days without drinking directly, deriving most of its moisture from the vegetation it consumes, a necessary adaptation in this arid environment. Though it has very poor eyesight, the black rhino lives in a rich world woven from scent. They regularly leave dung and urine at communal latrines along their pathways. These dung piles act as a social bulletin board where a rhino can tell which individuals have passed, their sex, and their health status. However, the dry season remains a constant test. As water evaporates almost completely from the ground, even the small, rain-fed pans are reduced to salt-crusted cracks. During the day, the scorching heat drives life into the shade. But at night, under the soft glow of the floodlights, the silhouette of the black rhino emerges. As of 2023, Namibia is home to over 2,200 black rhinos, accounting for more than a third of the species' global population. Etosha National Park alone holds over 70% of this number. But with such a concentration comes an increased risk of poaching. Despite the protection of dedicated rangers, GPS tracking, drones, and even dehorning to deter illegal hunting, the arid ground of Ocauquejo trembles under the heavy, rhythmic steps of a herd of blue wildebeest. standing about 4 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing an average of 440 pounds. Their coats shimmer with a deep, silvery grey, often catching subtle hints of blue in the sunlight. And are complemented by a long black mane and a thick beard along the chin. Despite their cumbersome frame, the blue wildebeest is surprisingly agile. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, a crucial adaptation in Etosha. As specialized grazers, blue wildebeest primarily feed on the short grasses that grow quickly after the rains. Their digestive system is finely tuned to extract nutrients from coarse, low-quality vegetation. At Ocaucuello, the man-made waterholes provide vital lifelines during these harsh months. Wildebeest often gather at these drinking spots in the early morning or late afternoon. By grazing regularly and moving frequently in search of fresh grass, the blue wildebeest prevent the vegetation from becoming overgrown or senescent. Migration is one of the most important behaviors for the blue wildebeest. However, this instinct is increasingly being disrupted across Africa. Man-made barriers, expanding road networks, and land development have fragmented their habitats. In Etosha, migratory routes still exist, but they are increasingly restricted. Often seen moving alongside the herds of blue wildebeest, the plains zebras make their steady way toward the scarce water sources scattered across the heart of the savanna. Of medium size among Africa's wild equids, the plains zebra stands about 4.3 feet at the shoulder and can weigh up to 770 pounds as an adult. Its characteristic black and white stripes form a unique pattern for each individual. In Etosha, particularly around the Occoquejo waterhole, the plains zebra lives in social groups known as harems. Small units consisting of a dominant male, several females, and their offspring. The plains zebra is a strict grazer, specializing in the short grasses that grow quickly after the rains. Their grazing helps regulate plant biomass by clearing away old vegetation, allowing new growth to flourish. Seasonal migration is a characteristic survival strategy for the plains zebra. Depending on climatic and pasture conditions, some herds travel up to 680 miles a year in search of sustenance. As of early 2025, the wild plains zebra population was estimated at 150,000 to 250,000 mature individuals. This figure represents a decline of about 25% since the 1990s, primarily due to habitat loss and illegal hunting. As the herds of plains zebras gather around the shallow waterholes, the gaze of a lion locks onto them from the shadows. At Occoquejo, predator and prey engage in a silent battle of wits. During the dry season, Occoquejo becomes a crucial crossroads where the cycles of life converge. The herbivores have no choice but to approach the dwindling water sources. drawing both predator and prey into an unavoidable confrontation. As the number of animals increases, so does their vigilance. The lionesses adjust their hunting strategies, shifting from pursuit to ambush. When the time is right, one lioness often moves deliberately toward the herd as a distraction. While 2 or 3 others silently circle through the bush, cutting off the prey's retreat and forming a tight arc. An adult lion, with its powerful build, broad chest, sturdy forelegs, and razor-sharp teeth, can take down prey twice its size. Despite this, lions in the wild have a relatively low hunting success rate, only about 20 to 25%. In the scorching heat of the Namibian desert, lions conserve energy by resting up to 21 hours a day, preparing for the demands of a nocturnal hunt. Unlike most other cat species, lions are social animals, living in groups called prides. A typical pride consists of related females, 1 or more adult males, and their offspring. Amidst the hazy dust of the Savanna, the deep roar of a lion echoes through the Ocauquejo night, a solemn reminder that life is a sacred gift. The chorus that rises in the night is more than a warning. It is a deception woven from sound. A phantom army summoned from the darkness. By timing their calls, a small pride can sound like a legion, creating an illusion of impossible numbers. It is a wall of sound, a battle won by fear before a single claw is even drawn. In the golden light of the late dry season sunset, every step of the African elephant stirs a cloud of dust on the semi-arid savanna. These giants, standing up to 13 feet at the shoulder and weighing up to 7.5 tons in adult males, are the largest land animals on Earth. Their iconic curved tusks vary in length depending on the mineral content of the soil. In regions like Etosha, elephants tend to grow shorter tusks compared to those in eastern or central Africa. The elephant is never alone on its journey of survival. Each herd is a close-knit family led by an older female, known as the matriarch. She carries the oldest memories, able to recall the locations of seasonal water sources, safe migration routes, and how to avoid threats. But their perception extends far beyond memory. Their wisdom is carried not on the wind, but through the very bones of the continent itself. They listen to the earth's pulse, feeling the distant thunder of another herd's passage as a tremor in their feet. It is an ancient language of vibration, a secret conversation that allows a family to never truly be alone. During the dry season, the landscape changes dramatically. As natural waterholes dry up, the vegetation withers, and the cracked earth reveals a scarcity of moisture. The herds are forced to travel tens of miles each day in search of water and food. At Ocauquejo, the year-round man-made waterholes provide a crucial refuge. The African elephant is a herbivore, consuming up to 330 pounds of vegetation per day and drinking up to 26 gallons of water. Their diet consists of grass, leaves, bark, and occasionally fallen fruit. With such a massive intake, elephants act as true ecosystem engineers. By breaking through thickets, toppling small trees, and creating paths through dense vegetation. Although the African elephant can live for 60 to 70 years in the wild, its journey is fraught with challenges. ivory poaching, habitat loss due to human expansion, and conflicts with local communities. Under the scorching sun, the cracked earth of Etosha bears the marks of time as the African ostrich strides confidently among the few remaining waterholes. Though flightless, this extraordinary bird is perfectly adapted to the semi-desert landscape. Equipped with long legs, remarkable speed, and extraordinary endurance. Standing up to 9.2 feet tall, the ostrich towers over most predators. However, its greatest defense lies in its speed. Capable of sprinting up to 43 miles per hour, ostriches are the true long-distance runners of the semi-arid savanna. Despite their formidable size and defensive capabilities, African ostriches rely heavily on group living strategies to increase their chances of survival. During the dry season, they travel in groups of 5 to over 50 individuals. As omnivores, their diet is highly varied, including dry leaves, seeds, roots, insects, and even carrion. When water is scarce, they switch their diet to moisture-rich plants. This is no place for a peaceful rest. In this high-risk environment, the African ostrich is equipped with the largest eyes of any land animal. Measuring up to 2 inches in diameter, these powerful eyes allow them to detect subtle movements at great distances. During the breeding season, their behavior becomes more animated against the arid landscape. The survival of the African ostrich is a testament to its remarkable adaptability in the semi-arid savanna. The waterhole at Halali sustains a remarkable diversity of wildlife. Its dense vegetation and rugged terrain create an ideal backdrop for lurking nocturnal predators. After the faint steps of a greater kudu at dusk, the air falls silent. It is in this breathless quiet that the leopard emerges. A master predator cloaked in shadow. It moves like a whisper, its eyes locked on the slightest movement. With males weighing from 66 to 159 pounds and females from 44 to 95 pounds, the leopard strikes a perfect balance between power and agility. Its muscular frame is built for stealth and strength. Their coats, ranging from pale yellow to a deep gold and patterned with distinctive black rosettes, provide almost perfect camouflage. Under the dappled moonlight filtering through the mopane canopy, they disappear into their surroundings. Leopards can live up to 17 years in the wild, making them one of the longest-living great cats. They are also one of the most widespread. In Etosha alone, their population density ranges from half to 3.8 individuals per 39 square miles. A big cat's meal would be much more complete without the arrival of one of Africa's most persistent intruders. The hoarse, broken call echoes through the night like a suppressed, mocking laugh, signaling the approach of the spotted hyena. One of the most persistent and aggressive scavengers on the continent. Not as powerful as a lion, nor as swift as a cheetah, the spotted hyena dominates through sheer endurance, a tight-knit social structure, and unparalleled adaptability. With a powerful build, a muscular neck, and a formidable jaw, the spotted hyena is born for efficiency. Its pale, yellow-gray coat, covered in dark spots, makes it unmistakable. Their jaws are one of nature's most formidable tools, capable of generating a bite force of up to 1,000 pounds, strong enough to crush even the largest bones. Large bones, hooves, even teeth. Nothing is off limits. Though often dismissed as mere scavengers, spotted hyenas are, in fact, masterful hunters. In some populations, their success rate can reach an impressive 67%. At Halali, where herbivores gather around the shrinking waterholes, the hyenas exploit the rugged terrain. Equally fascinating is their complex social structure, one of the few matriarchal systems in the animal kingdom. The clans can number over 50 individuals, with the females holding the dominant status. Their signature laugh is no joke. It is a sophisticated series of acoustic signals conveying emotional state, social rank, and coordinating group behavior. From Senegal to Namibia, in Etosha, especially around the Halali region, the spotted hyena thrives. Here, its adaptability meets a well-managed conservation environment. Unlike the boisterous clamor of a spotted hyena clan, another nocturnal predator moves through the darkness in absolute silence. From high above, the spotted eagle owl glides softly on muffled wings. Its flight is so silent that it leaves no trace in the night air. One of the most common owls in southern Africa, the spotted eagle owl is about 18 inches long. With a wingspan of 3 to 4.5 feet and weighing less than a pound, it may not seem formidable in size. However, It possesses a suite of biological advantages that make it a master of the night. Its grayish-brown plumage, mottled with white spots and fine barring on the chest, provides perfect camouflage. As a predator, the spotted eagle owl relies on exceptional senses to hunt in the dark. Its true ears are hidden beneath its facial feathers, while the prominent tufts on its head, often mistaken for ears, serve as visual signals. As the dry season narrows the range of prey species, drawing them toward water sources like Halali, the spotted eagle owl adapts. In this way, the owl becomes a crucial agent in controlling rodent populations. Especially important during the dry season, when outbreaks of mice and rabbits could devastate the already depleted vegetation. A dark figure glides slowly across the silent sky. Not as hurried as a predator, nor as fragile as a migrant, the lappet-faced vulture moves with a solemn purpose. With a wingspan of nearly 10 feet and an almost meditative posture, it is Africa's largest vulture. A bare, reddish-pink head and loose folds of skin called lappets drape gracefully along its neck. This featherless crown is not a sign of decay, but the product of millions of years of evolution. Perfectly suited for its ecological role, cleaning up what others leave behind. To fulfill this role, they are equipped with an extraordinary immune and digestive system. Within its gut lies an alchemical furnace, a cauldron of acid so potent it can render the deadliest poisons harmless. It does not just consume death, it purifies it. It is nature's final line of defense against decay, turning the agents of plague into the sustenance of life. A grim but sacred duty. In Etosha, especially during the harsh, dry season, when water is scarce and food is even scarcer, the lappet-faced vulture becomes a symbol of efficiency. It can spot a carcass from impressive distances. And when a large animal falls on the barren plains, this species is often the first to arrive. Its powerful, hooked beak can tear through the toughest hides, muscles, and sinews, opening up the feast for smaller scavengers. Contrary to their passive reputation, these vultures can strip a small antelope to the bone in under 20 minutes. Yet, despite their talents, their numbers are in steep decline. As of 2024, only about 6,500 lappet-faced vultures remain in the wild. Their greatest threat, poisoning, often unintentional, when they feed on carcasses laced with pesticides or toxic chemicals. Today, the International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the lappet-faced vulture as endangered, a clear warning for its future. The black-faced impala is a rare subspecies found only in the arid landscapes of southwestern Namibia, with the largest population concentrated in Etosha. Unlike its more common relatives, the black-faced impala is easily distinguished by a prominent black stripe running from its nose to its eyes, complemented by a deep, dark brown coat. Larger and darker than its Eastern and Central African counterparts, its coloration provides a natural advantage, camouflage against the dust and harsh glare of the desert. Instead of forming large herds, this impala has a more intimate, flexible social structure. Groups typically range from 3 to 15 individuals. The adult males often live apart, only approaching the female groups during the rut before retreating again. As of 2024, the global population of the black-faced impala is only about 3,000, with just about half of those remaining in Etosha. The subspecies is classified as vulnerable not only due to its limited geographical range, but also because of the growing threat of hybridization with the more common impala. Although sharing the striking black facial stripes with its close relatives, the gemsbok moves with a calm, deliberate gait that sets it apart from the impala's slender grace. Its long, straight horns and solid muscular frame give it a formidable presence on the arid plains. Its sword-like horns, up to 4 feet long, are one of its most iconic features. Making the gemsbok one of Africa's most distinctive antelopes. A smooth, grayish-tan coat, sharply marked with black and white stripes on the face, legs, and flanks, allows it to disappear against the rocky, sun-drenched terrain. In the dry season, when temperatures can soar above 113 degrees Fahrenheit and most wildlife congregates at the dwindling waterholes, the gemsbok stands apart. It has evolved a remarkable independence from water, able to survive for weeks or even months without drinking. Its physiology is similarly adapted, capable of tolerating an internal temperature of up to 113 degrees Fahrenheit without sweating, conserving every precious drop of moisture. To do this, they possess an extraordinary internal cooling system. A network of tiny blood vessels in the nose, known as the carotid ret, acts as a heat exchanger. Inhaled air cools the blood before it reaches the brain, keeping their most vital organ at a safe temperature, even when the rest of their body is boiling. A specialized network of blood vessels in its nasal passages acts as a natural cooling system, lowering the temperature of the blood before it reaches the brain. Primarily crepuscular, it moves at dawn and dusk when the temperatures are milder, the light is softer, and the predators are less active. In Namibia, the gemsbok is more than just a creature of the wild. It is a national symbol, proudly displayed on the country's coat of arms. With a national population estimated at around 373,000 individuals. This antelope has maintained a strong foothold, supported by stable habitats and forward-thinking conservation policies. The Masai Mara is a region in southwestern Kenya, directly bordering Tanzania's Serengeti, forming a transboundary ecosystem known as the Greater Serengeti ecosystem. With an area of about 583 square miles, the Masai Mara holds an astonishing diversity of life. The Masai Mara Plateau sits at an average elevation of 4,900 feet above sea level. The landscape ranges from endless savanna grasslands to sparse woodlands and meandering rivers like the Mara and the Talek. Viewed from above, the vegetation appears as specks of color on a carpet of grass. That is why, in the local language, Mara means spotted. The climate in the Masai Mara is divided into two distinct seasons, the wet and the dry. The wet season typically lasts from November to May, while the dry season runs from June to October. The dry season is also the peak of predator activity and the time of the Great Migration, when over 1 million wildebeest journey from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara. The Masai Mara is home to an incredible biodiversity, with some 95 species of mammals and over 500 species of birds recorded. This land is home to all of Africa's iconic animals, known as the Big Five: the lion, the elephant, the leopard, the African buffalo, and the black rhino. It is also the domain of intelligent predators such as the cheetah, the hyena, and the African wild dog. This land also preserves the cultural and spiritual values of the Maasai people. For them, nature is sacred, a gift from the god Enkai. Living in harmony with nature is a sacred duty, not just a choice. As the dry season begins to consume the Golden Plains, a great natural symphony begins. It is the start of one of the most spectacular natural phenomena on the planet, the Great Migration. The journey spans over 500 miles, guided entirely by the rhythm of nature. Where the rains fall, the grass grows, and the herds will follow. Every year, around July, over 1 million wildebeest begin their migration in search of green pastures. With them are some 200,000 zebras and 300,000 Thompson's gazelles, forming a colossal river of life. The most dramatic moment of the migration is the crossing of the Mara River. Beneath the water, the jaws of Nile crocodiles, some over 16 feet long, lie in wait. On peak days, tens of thousands of animals may plunge into the river in just a few minutes. Many are trampled, drowned, or become prey for the crocodiles. On the banks, predators like lions, cheetahs, leopards, and hyenas also lie in patient ambush. But the true marvel of the Great Migration lies in the immense ecological role it plays. The movement of millions of individuals not only drives the life cycle of the vegetation, but also ensures a food source for all predators. Their dung and urine provide a vast stream of nutrients for the soil, microorganisms, and the entire web of life. The thousands of carcasses of those that do not complete the journey become a source of life for countless scavengers. When the rains return to the Serengeti in November, the migration heads south again, closing a cycle that has lasted almost a year. From birth, growth, and reproduction to death, all life cycles are bound to this path. It is an eternal circuit, where life never stands still, and death is not an end, but the beginning of a new turn of the wheel. Distinguished by its reddish-brown coat and lyre-shaped horns, the topee possesses a formidable weapon: speed. It can reach 43 miles per hour and maintain remarkable agility over long distances. When pursued, instead of running in a straight line, the topee often zigzags, making it a difficult target for predators. As a favored prey for large carnivores, they also play a vital role in regulating the natural grasslands. Amidst the great flow of the migration, there is a large but remarkably gentle antelope, the eland. It is the world's largest antelope, a gentle giant of the plains. An adult eland can stand nearly 6 feet tall and weigh almost 2,200 pounds. Both males and females have long spiral horns, which serve as effective defensive weapons against enemies. Thanks to its complex stomach structure, the eland can digest a wide variety of tough plants, even the thorny leaves that many other antelopes cannot eat. Unlike other herbivores that depend on surface water, the Grant's gazelle can survive for long periods in semi-arid conditions. With speeds exceeding 50 miles per hour, they are a challenging target for predators. When it senses danger, the Grant's gazelle will raise its ears, stomp its feet, and widen its bright eyes to alert the entire herd. On this journey, another antelope is also a primary prey for large predators, the Thompson's gazelle. When faced with danger, it can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour and is particularly known for stotting vertical leaps of 6 to 10 feet. They typically feed in the early morning and late afternoon to avoid the intense heat, favoring the short grasses that grow close to the ground. However, on this vast journey, the antelope herds are just a small part. Following them are the true giants that lead the migration. Millions of thundering hooves transform the savanna into a ceaseless wave of motion. Amidst this torrent of life and death, the blue wildebeest emerges as the soul of the greatest migration on Earth. An adult blue wildebeest can weigh up to 640 pounds. Its metallic blue-gray coat has earned it the name blue wildebeest. Their greatest strength is not ferocity, but numbers and endurance. Each year, they follow a cycle of about 500 miles, tracing the path of the rains. Each female gives birth to a single calf after an 8-month gestation. Synchronized birthing occurs over a 2 to 3 week period, with about 500,000 calves born almost simultaneously. This is no coincidence. It is a breathtakingly calculated survival strategy known as predator swamping. By producing an overwhelming number of young in a very short time, they create a feast too large for predators to fully exploit. It is a brutal gamble of numbers. Some will be sacrificed, but the majority will survive. A victory for life, bought with death itself. When pursued, they can reach speeds of around 40 to 50 miles per hour, combined with the ability to change direction quickly. They cooperate with zebras throughout the journey. Zebras often eat the taller grass tops, clearing the way for the wildebeest to feed on the shorter, more nutritious grass below. Wildebeest are the primary grazers of the Serengeti and Masai Mara ecosystem, and in turn, the primary food source for lions, hyenas, and crocodiles. If the wildebeest is the soul of the migration, then alongside it, the plains zebra is like the vibrant notes that adorn the savanna. Their black and white striped coats are a unique identifier. No two individuals have the exact same pattern. These stripes are also a form of social barcode. Studies suggest that zebras can recognize each other by these unique patterns. In a chaotic sea of black and white, a foal can still find its mother. It is not just camouflage, it is identity. These stripes are not just for camouflage. They are a form of optical armor. To the eyes of a blood-sucking tsetse fly, this is a dazzling matrix of polarized light, making it impossible for them to land. A genius solution to a tiny but deadly enemy. Plains zebras live in cohesive social groups called harems, consisting of one adult male, several females, and their young. When threatened, they form a circle with the young in the center. A zebra's kick has enough force to cause serious injury to a lion. Their sharp vision allows them to spot enemies from afar. When pursued, they can reach a top speed of about 40 miles per hour. But where there is abundant life, there is also the shadow of the predator. Following the trail of the migration, the chilling laughter of the spotted hyena echoes across the savanna. This sound brings no joy, but is an omen of blood and darkness. Spotted hyenas live in a complex social structure called a clan, which can number over 80 individuals. Hyena society is matriarchal. The females dominate, lead, and decide access to food. An adult spotted hyena weighs from 100 to 187 pounds, with females typically being larger than males. The hyena's jaw is one of the most powerful weapons in nature, with a bite force strong enough to crush the bones of a wildebeest or zebra. And their chilling laugh, it is not joy at all. This sound is usually made during moments of social stress or high excitement, such as a dispute over a carcass. Each individual has a laugh with a unique pitch, which reveals its age and status to others in the clan. It is a complex social bulletin encoded in a sound we so often misunderstand. Contrary to their image as scavengers, spotted hyenas are, in fact, organized and effective hunters. About 60% of their food comes from direct kills. Endurance is their advantage. A hyena can maintain a speed of 31 miles per hour over a long distance, exhausting its prey before bringing it down. Spotted hyenas act as true regulators of nature. They follow the herds, targeting the young, the old, or the injured. The Mara River crossing often leaves dozens of carcasses, and it is the hyenas that help clean the environment, preventing the spread of disease. But if the terrestrial predators are a challenge, the demon hiding beneath the water is a sudden death sentence. Hidden in the stretches of river, the migration must cross. Golden eyes glow like embers. It is the Nile crocodile, the executioner of the river. An adult Nile crocodile can be 13 to 16 feet long and weigh an average of 880 to 1,540 pounds. Its body is covered in a layer of scales as hard as steel. A long mouth holds teeth capable of a bite force many times stronger than a lion's. Its eyes and nostrils are on top of its head, allowing it to hide underwater almost completely undetected. At the time of the river crossing, beneath the murky water, the Nile crocodiles are in position. As the prey begins to cross, a crocodile ambushing by the bank gives a slight flick of its tail and lunges in an instant. The bite targets the ankle of a calf, the weakest point as its leg lifts from the mud. Before the prey can react, it uses its entire muscle mass to drag the victim into the water. Steel jaws clamp down as its body spins in the famous death roll. Each rotation is a brutal twist. When the prey's struggle has ceased, it switches to a drowning strategy, holding it under until it stops breathing. The river's surface gradually calms. The crocodile takes the carcass to a safe storage place under submerged tree roots. As an ancient creature, the crocodile holds the secrets of time. Deep within their stomachs, scientists often find stones known as gastroliths. They not only help grind up food, but also act as ballast, helping the crocodile dive deeper and maintain stability underwater. A technique millions of years old, still in use today. Biologically, the Nile crocodile is an opportunistic predator and can live up to 70 years in the wild. They control herbivore populations by eliminating weak or careless individuals. But there is one animal that even the river's killer must be wary of. It is the hippopotamus, a giant creature with a gentle appearance, but which carries within it incredible strength and ferocity. An adult hippopotamus can weigh up to 8,800 pounds. Though it may seem slow, it is one of the most dangerous creatures in Africa. On land, it can run at 19 miles per hour over short distances, and it is extremely agile in deep water. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are on top of its head, allowing it to stay submerged for hours. A hippo's skin secretes a pinkish substance called blood sweat, which is actually a natural antibacterial and sun-blocking compound. Hippos live in pods, usually of 10 to 30 individuals. The dominant male maintains an underwater territory of 800 to 1,600 feet. Although herbivores, hippos are extremely aggressive in defending their territory. Their 20-inch long canine teeth are powerful enough to kill any predator. The presence of hippos can cause chaos for the migrating herds. They are known for their unpredictable temperament and will not hesitate to attack if they feel their territory is being invaded. Hippo dung contains a large amount of nutrients that feed fish populations and other aquatic organisms. On land, as they graze, they create paths that help other animals move more easily. The Great Migration is not just a search for pasture. Behind it lies a much larger ecological cycle, where life is intimately dependent on grass and rain. It is this rhythm that has shaped one of the most distinctive and vibrant ecosystems on the planet, the savanna. The African savanna is a giant biological machine where solar energy is converted into vegetation, which feeds the herbivores and in turn sustains the predators. In this rhythm of survival, one group of animals has become iconic. They are known as the Big Five. These 5 large mammal species not only represent the power of Africa, but are also pillars in maintaining the stability of the entire ecosystem. If the Great Migration reveals the grandeur of collective life, the Big Five are evidence of symbolic power, where each individual becomes the soul of the savanna. Among the mighty Big Five, there is a giant that walks slowly, but to whom the entire savanna bows in respect. It is the African elephant, the king of size in the terrestrial animal world. An adult African elephant can stand up to 10.8 feet tall and weigh from 8,800 to 15,400 pounds. Its ears, nearly 6.5 feet wide, act as biological fans, helping to dissipate heat. Its tusks, which can be over 8 feet long, are both defensive weapons and feeding tools. The most remarkable biological feature is the trunk. Delicate enough to pick a small leaf, but also strong enough to uproot an acacia tree several feet tall. The African elephant has the most complex social structure among terrestrial mammals. They live in herds of 10 to 30 individuals, consisting of related females and their young. The herd is usually led by the oldest female, the matriarch, who holds in her memory the precise locations of water sources and pastures. But it is how they communicate that is truly astounding. Beyond the trumpets we can hear, elephants also produce ultra-low frequency infrasound, which travels for miles through the ground. They do not just hear the call of the herd, they feel it through the soles of their feet. The entire savanna becomes an invisible communication network, a language of vibrations. Each day, an adult elephant can consume from 330 to 440 pounds of vegetation. As they move, they create paths through the savanna. When they topple trees or dig for water, elephants unwittingly create sources of life for many other species. Thus, they are considered the true ecological engineers of the Masai Mara. Among the species that benefit from elephants are rhinos. The black rhino, a solitary species, often seeks out the waterholes created by elephants. An adult black rhino can weigh an average of 1,760 to 3,080 pounds. Its most prominent feature is its pair of keratin horns. It is these very horns that have pushed this animal to the brink of extinction due to poaching, stemming from the false belief in their medicinal value. The black rhino's behavior is known to be wary and aggressive. Although its vision is poor, it has an extremely sensitive sense of smell and hearing. When it detects a strange scent, it can react instantly, charging at a speed of 34 miles per hour. Unlike the white rhino, which grazes on low grass, the black rhino is a browser with a pointed, prehensile upper lip like a pair of tongs, which can reach the leaves and branches of thorny acacia trees. The conservation status of the black rhino is extremely concerning. According to the IUCN, it is classified as critically endangered. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were about 850,000 individuals in Africa. But by the 1990s, that number had plummeted to just 2,500. In the Masai Mara, only a few dozen individuals remain, strictly protected under 24/7 surveillance by ranger teams. A muscular body like a living fortress wall, a pair of curved horns like an ancient suit of armor. It is the African buffalo. An adult buffalo can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. The most prominent feature is the massive pair of horns that can be up to 5 feet wide, forming a true shield that protects the skull. Buffalo live in herds, which can number in the thousands during the rainy season. The herd is led by the adult females. Their survival strategy is based on 3 pillars: muscular strength, deadly horns, and an unbreakable spirit of solidarity. When faced with danger, the entire herd immediately forms a defensive circle, with the young in the center. Solidarity is their ultimate weapon. When an individual is attacked, the entire herd will turn back to rescue it. There are many records of lions being killed by a single charge from an angry buffalo herd. This solidarity is not just a defensive instinct. Buffalo are known for their extraordinary memory and seem capable of holding a grudge. There have been documented cases of entire herds turning back to actively hunt down and attack the same lions that had stalked them days before. This is not just self-defense, it is retribution. It is for this fearsome aggression that it has earned a formidable nickname, the Black Death of Africa. A worthy opponent that forces the Black Death to use all its strength is the lion. An adult male lion can weigh from 330 to 550 pounds. The most prominent feature is the male's thick mane. The darker and denser the mane, the more it signifies strength and dominance. The lion is the only big cat to live in social groups called prides. A pride typically has from 10 to 20 individuals. The lionesses are the soul of the pride. They hunt in groups, coordinating precisely to take down large prey like wildebeest, zebras, and even buffalo. The male lion's role is to protect the territory and confront intruders. The lion's hunting strategy is based on collective strength. They rarely chase prey over long distances, but prefer to ambush, taking advantage of darkness or tall grass to approach. However, statistics show that only 20 to 30% of their hunts are successful. The ecological role of the lion is population control. By hunting, they remove weak and sick individuals, helping to maintain the health of the herbivore herds. Sharing the same Panthera lineage, the lion and the leopard are two opposing symbols of the savanna. One uses strength and pride as its weapons, while the other chooses solitude, mystery, and speed to survive. A golden coat adorned with black rosettes allows the leopard to blend perfectly into tall grass or dense foliage. This perfect camouflage makes the leopard a master of ambush. The leopard's night vision is extremely sharp. In silence, it gradually closes the distance to its prey. The leopard's attack is not based on sustained speed, but on short, explosive bursts. When the moment is right, it launches forward at nearly 36 miles per hour, enough to leap 20 feet and sink its teeth into the prey's neck. Another distinctive feature of the leopard is its strategy for storing food. After bringing down its prey, it uses its phenomenal strength to drag the carcass up a tree. This is its safe larder from the prying eyes of lions, hyenas, and jackals. The leopard's menu is incredibly diverse, from Thompson's gazelles to smaller prey like hares, birds, and even young crocodiles. But this land is not just famous for the Big Five. Behind those legendary names, there are countless other unique creatures. A noisy, chaotic, and cunning gang of the savanna. They can steal food from lions, challenge leopards, and even cause disturbances in villages. They are the olive baboons. A key feature of the olive baboon is its complex social structure. They live in troops of up to 150 individuals, organized in a hierarchical system. When the opportunity arises, the entire troop can coordinate to ambush smaller prey, using their numbers, speed, and sharp canine teeth. They often post sentinels. Some individuals climb to high points to watch while the rest of the troop forages below. A strange face, unusually curved tusks. It is the common warthog. At first glance, it may seem clumsy, but when necessary, it can become an reluctant warrior. The name warthog comes from the hard, bony lumps on its face, which serve as protection during clashes. Contrary to its slow appearance, the common warthog is extremely agile. When threatened, it can bolt at a speed of 30 miles per hour. When ambushed, if they cannot escape, they will back straight into their burrow. Interestingly, they reverse in, keeping their tusks facing outwards, ready to confront the enemy. Ears like radar dishes, a spotted coat with no two individuals alike. It is the African wild dog, a master strategist of the animal world. The African wild dog is the most successful pack hunter among Africa's carnivores, with a success rate of 70 to 80%. Instead of ambushing, they often chase their prey to exhaustion. The pack uses a relay chasing strategy, where they take turns leading the hunt, tiring out the prey. This species is also notable for its spirit of solidarity. They share their prey fairly with the entire pack, including the young, the old, and even injured members. As fast as a lightning bolt, as sleek as a living arrow. It is no coincidence that the cheetah is among the greatest names in Africa. An adult cheetah weighs from 46 to 159 pounds. Its body is built for one purpose: speed. With strides of up to 23 feet, the cheetah can reach a top speed of 60 to 70 miles per hour, making it the fastest land predator in the world. But speed is not the only strategy. Before the explosion, the cheetah chooses patience. It often observes from the hills, using its sharp eyes to spot prey up to 3 miles away. The chase lasts only 20 to 30 seconds. All energy is channeled into powerful bursts of acceleration. However, speed comes at a price. After each hunt, the cheetah's body is exhausted. This is the most dangerous time. Lions, leopards, or hyenas often appear to steal its prize. And there is a sound that one would hardly expect from such a predator. Unlike the roar of a lion, the cheetah cannot roar. Instead, it makes cat-like calls, and when content, it can produce a loud, continuous purr. Inside the fastest sprinter on the planet, there still beats the heart of a gentle big cat. Here, there is also a wild cat with special ambush skills, the caracal. Its most prominent feature is its extremely sensitive hearing. Its large ears allow it to pick up even the slightest movements under the grass or in the ground. Once it has located its prey, it suddenly leaps 6 to 10 feet into the air and dives down like an arrow, taking down its victim in an instant. On the African plains, it is not hard to spot a small figure with a back as black as a streak of charcoal. It is the black-backed jackal. The black-backed jackal is a master of opportunity. It hunts both day and night, but is more effective in the dark. An essential aspect of the jackal's survival is its intelligence and its strategy of tailing other predators. It often follows lions or hyenas from a distance, waiting for the large predators to finish their hunt to scavenge the remains. They are the most patient followers, waiting for the moment the giants are full and let their guard down. But do not mistake this opportunism for cowardice. It is a survival strategy calculated to the finest detail. When there is no feast to crash, their sharp intelligence turns them into formidable tiny hunters. Anything from insects and small reptiles to fruits is on the menu, a testament to their extraordinary adaptability. It is this extreme flexibility between scavenging and hunting for themselves that has allowed this small streak of charcoal to thrive where many others have failed. With its long legs, The ostrich can easily outrun even a galloping horse. Although it cannot fly, it compensates with extraordinary strength and endurance. An adult ostrich can stand up to 8 feet tall. Its long, powerful legs allow it to reach a top speed of 43 miles per hour, making it the fastest terrestrial bird in the world. The ostrich's eyes are up to 2 inches in diameter, the largest of any land animal, allowing it to spot enemies from over 2 miles away. Its legs are not just for running, but are also formidable weapons. A single kick can deliver enough force to take down a lion. In the sky of the Masai Mara, there is another world suspended in the air, a biological network in constant motion. The Masai Mara is not only a paradise for large land animals, but also a meeting point for over 470 bird species, including at least 60 species of raptors. During the rainy seasons, the sky becomes even more vibrant with the appearance of millions of flying insects, creating a lavish feast for insectivorous birds. Another group of birds stands out for its size and distinctive appearance: the hornbills. They possess a long, strong, but light beak due to its hollow internal structure. Hornbills are typical omnivores. This diet ensures they play a dual role in the ecosystem, as predators of small animals and as important seed dispersers. One of the most remarkable biological features of the hornbill lies in its breeding behavior. The female seals herself in a tree cavity, leaving only a narrow slit for the male to provide food. During this time, which lasts from 50 to 80 days, the female stays in the nest to incubate the eggs and care for the young. Standing out against the dry yellow grass is the silhouette of a long-legged bird. It is the secretary bird, the most unique terrestrial predator in Africa. Unlike most other birds of prey, the secretary bird spends almost all its time on the ground. It can walk over 12 miles a day in search of food. Its reputation as a snake killer comes from its technique of using its long, powerful legs to repeatedly kick the head or body of a snake. Each kick can generate a force equivalent to 5 times its body weight, enough to break bones or stun the snake. A giant black shadow glides across the sky. It is the martial eagle, one of the largest and most powerful eagles in Africa. An adult martial eagle has a massive wingspan and can soar for hours at an altitude of 6,500 feet, scanning the savanna for prey. The martial eagle's hunting strategy is based on superior vision and strength. When it spots prey, it dives at speeds of up to 140 miles per hour. Its massive talons grip the victim with enough force to break bones. It is one of the few birds capable of taking down even large monkeys or medium-sized antelopes. When a hunt ends, that is when the marabou stork enters the survival race. One species brings death, the other cleans up the traces. It is known as the undertaker bird, often seen with a gloomy appearance, soaring on the hot air currents rising from the ground in search of carrion. The marabou stork is a specialist scavenger. It often gathers around the carcasses of wildebeest, zebras, or buffalo, ready to compete for food with vultures and hyenas. After the marabou stork leaves, another force immediately appears to finish the job. It is the vultures. When an animal falls, the signal quickly spreads across the sky. Flocks of vultures can gather by the hundreds in just a few minutes. A 550-pound wildebeest can be picked clean to the bone in under an hour. This speed is not only impressive, but also has significant ecological importance. It prevents the proliferation of bacteria and diseases from rotting carcasses in the hot, humid climate of the savanna. The vulture's strategy is not to kill, but to be patient and to cooperate. Each species plays a specific role in the feast of death, ensuring nothing goes to waste. In the ecological chain, vultures are the great recycling machines. By consuming carrion, they eliminate potential sources of epidemics, protecting both wildlife and humans. The flow of life in the Masai Mara does not begin with the rains, but with a body of water called the Mara River. The Mara River originates from the Mau Escarpment in western Kenya and flows for about 245 miles before emptying into Lake Victoria. It is the backbone of the entire ecosystem. The flow of the Mara River is not stable but changes with the seasons. This constant variation makes the riverine ecosystem an extremely dynamic and challenging living space. In the culture of the Maasai people, the Mara River is not just a source of water. They believe the river is the lifeblood of the god Enkai. A bird of prey known as the soul of Africa's rivers. It is the African fish eagle. Its sharp eyes can spot movement on the water's surface from over half a mile away. It often perches on high branches along the river, waiting patiently. When it spots a fish near the surface, it dives at 50 miles per hour, its talons gripping the prey. The hippopotamus is one of the most formidable creatures on the Savanna. Weighing over 7,000 pounds, with thick skin and a mouth that can open nearly 4 feet wide, it possesses a power that makes every predator wary. These are not the teeth of a grazer. They are the tusks of a warrior, forged not for sustenance, but for conflict. In the hippo's world, evolution has made a brutal calculation that the ability to defend one's place in the river is more vital than the tools used for feeding. It is a brutal declaration that in this river, peace is maintained not by gentleness, but by the promise of devastating violence. In the water, it is nearly invincible. A lion cannot approach or attack when a hippo need only submerge a few feet to vanish into the murky river. When a young hippo leaves the safety of the water, the pride begins to move. A male lion approaches from behind, leaping onto the calf's back and throwing it off balance. The pride closes in, working together to control its weight and movement. In a brief moment of confusion, the young hippo is brought down, and the rare hunt of the Savanna king comes to an end. This rare victory provides a great feast for the entire pride. A worthy reward after long days of waiting along the riverbank, where with one wrong step, even the hunter can become the one dragged into the water. Colombia, where nature never sleeps. In its dense jungles and vast plains, life and death are entwined in a symphony without end. Here, only the adaptable will endure. High above the Andean condor glides in silence an ancient messenger of the wild, cleansing the land of the weak. Beneath the jungle canopy, the jaguar stalks the shadows, each step a gamble for survival. The Amazon River, turbid and mysterious, conceals silent predators like the anaconda. They are patient, unhurried, yet their strike is always fatal. Colombia is an ecological battleground where predator and prey are locked in a relentless contest for life. The towering Andes, the verdant rainforests, the intricate network of rivers all weave a tapestry of life that is as diverse as it is unforgiving. Nestled in the northwest corner of South America, this nation holds some of the richest ecosystems on Earth, from snow-dusted peaks to the sun-drenched Caribbean coast. Beneath this beauty lies a tumultuous geological history where nature has not only forged challenges but also nurtured countless opportunities for evolution. Colombia is more than a country. It is a living map of biodiversity. With tens of thousands of species of plants, birds, and wild animals, and countless more yet to be discovered, this is one of Earth's pristine treasures. Every river, every creature tells an ancient story of resilience and the sheer will to exist. The Andean cloud forest where heaven and earth become one. At altitudes between 1,200 and 3,000 meters, lush canopies cloak the Andean slopes like a colossal blanket of mist. Hidden within is a vibrant world where the fog not only conceals, but also nourishes an entire ecological kingdom. The cloud forest is the lungs of the Andes, absorbing tons of carbon dioxide and securing water for millions of people. From here, legendary rivers like the Magdalena and the Cauca begin their journey, carrying life down to the lowlands. But the forest's vitality is not only in its ancient trees. Underfoot, every inch of damp earth is a microscopic world where life perpetually emerges tiny, yet tenacious. Beneath the thick cloud canopy of the Andean forest, life begins with adversity. The Andean condor nests on precipitous cliff, faces thousands of meters above the ground. It is a place where freezing winds, dense fog, and parental instinct coexist. Each nest is a fortress protecting the eggs from all harm. The scene is at once solemn and deeply moving. The wind howls across the mountaintops. Through the white mist, a wingspan of over 3 meters glides slowly through the air. They do not flap, they simply soar, ethereal as a spirit in the heavens. They are not hunters. The Andean condor is nature's cleaner. They feed on carcasses and in doing so prevent the spread of disease. From thousands of meters up, they survey entire valleys. Their eyes sharp, as knives can spot a meal from many kilometers away. When the moment comes, they descend in what seems like an ancient ritual. They are the physicians of the mountains. A symbol of rebirth and ecological order. But now they are disappearing. Deforestation. Lead shot. Senseless hunting. Death comes not by nature's hand, but by man's. Nest lit abandoned. Chicks no longer return. A creature once worshipped is now being pushed to the brink of extinction. The IUCN has issued its warning near threatened. But there is still hope. Conservation programs are beginning to make a difference. Birds are being raised in captivity and returned to the sky. And then those magnificent wings will soar once more. Above the Andean peaks, among the clouds. A reminder that nature is still waiting to be protected. Beneath the dense, misty canopy of the cloud forest, a brilliant splash of color erupts. This is the world of the Andean cock of the rock, the proud artist of the cloud forest. With its dazzling red plumage and a crest like a crown, it sets the forest ablaze with light. Its beauty is not merely attractive, it is captivating, almost hypnotic. The cock of the rock is just 12 centimeters long and weighs less than 10 grams. But when the breeding season arrives, the entire forest becomes its stage. The males gather. They dance. They flap their wings. They call out. Every movement is a contest. Only the most beautiful, the most audacious will be chosen. These displays, resplendent, dramatic, are like a silent festival of nature. They evoke powerful emotions in their own kind and in us. But the cock of the rock does more than dance and sing. They are the silent gardeners of the forest. They eat fruit like figs and avocados, and then disperse the seeds of life far and wide. Every seed that falls becomes a tree. Every tree becomes a forest. All thanks to a dance that seems intended only for show. Through a thin veil of mist, a glittering jewel flashes across the cloud forest sky. It is the hummingbird, a tiny living gem, yet one of extraordinary resilience. Colombia is a paradise for these birds. With over 147 species, it is home to the richest diversity of hummingbirds on the planet. Some weigh less than 1/10 of a gram. Yet their wings can beat 70 times per second. That humming sound awakens the quiet forest. They hover like biological drones, sipping nectar from flowers hidden deep within the foliage. Though minuscule, they command the sky with speed and precision. A hummingbird's heart can beat up to 1,200 times per minute. A powerful living engine in the chill of the high mountains. To survive the night, they enter a state of temporary hibernation known as torpor. When dawn breaks, they awaken full of life. Hummingbirds do not live for themselves alone. They are messengers of pollination, helping the forest regenerate day after day. Some species, like the sword-billed hummingbird, possess an extraordinarily long bill. It is a perfect adaptation for reaching flowers that no other creature can touch. Beneath the thick mist that blankets the Andean peaks, the forest is wrapped in a damp, mystical silence. In this space, a special primate quietly endures the woolly monkey. They are not loud, not hurried. Like silent warriors, woolly monkeys have adapted over thousands of years to life in the dense fog. They live high in the canopy in large troops of up to 45 individuals. This communal life is one of deep bonds and discipline. They communicate with glances, calls, and gentle, meaningful touches. Their calls echo through the leaves like a symphony of the deep forest. Intimacy is nurtured daily through small gestures, through subtle signals. They do not just live, they share, protect, and learn from one another. Their diet is also remarkably flexible. They prefer fruit, but when necessary, they can eat leaves, seeds, and even insects. This diversity helps them survive in an ever-changing environment. Amidst the cold, damp, and challenging forest, the woolly monkey is a living testament to the power of adaptation and unity. They do not dominate the forest, they have become an inseparable part of it. The roar of the red howler monkey, powerful, piercing, shatters the quiet space. The sound can travel for up to 5 kilometers. It is more than a warning. It is a declaration of territory, of strength, of sovereignty over the green forest. Their brilliant red fur burns like embers against the dense green foliage. Striking, fierce, unmistakable. They are one of the largest primates in South America, weighing up to 9 kilograms and measuring nearly 70 centimeters in length. Their long, prehensile tail is a superb tool for navigating the high canopy. They live in small, cohesive troops of 3 to 9 individuals. In a land where life is never easy, each day is a tense biological struggle. A lion holds its breath in the shade of a stark tree. Its eyes gleam as the setting sun bathes the land in gold. The predator's hour has arrived. Scattered roars echo in the distance, a declaration of war. Black rhinos, the last survivors, move in silence. Their gaze is ever watchful. Towards the riverbank, elephant herds advance slowly, their formations tightly held. Nearby, buffalo gather into a solid mass, their horns a formidable barrier facing outwards. Meanwhile, the leopard, a silent walker, conceals itself among the shadows and branches. Some hope only to survive until dawn, others calculate every step to satisfy their hunger. South Africa is known as a kingdom of wild nature, a convergence of nearly all characteristic terrains. This land boasts nearly 20 national parks, stretching from damp coastal forests to inland savannas. Spanning over 471,000 square miles, South Africa encompasses 8 major ecoregions. This rare convergence makes the country one of the world's most significant biodiversity hotspots. South Africa possesses a diverse and distinctive natural climate system, extending from the semi-arid regions in the west. The marked variation in rainfall and temperature with latitude and altitude creates distinct environmental conditions. Thanks to this interplay, South Africa is home to some 299 mammal and 858 bird species. Located in the southwest and central parts of South Africa, the Karoo and succulent Karoo are two of its semi-arid regions. The terrain here consists mainly of vast plains, with a few low mountain ranges and ancient rock formations. The climate is arid year-round, with a great temperature range between day and night. The succulent Karoo is particularly remarkable, as it is one of the few semi-arid biodiversity hotspots on Earth. It is a region that clearly reflects life's capacity for adaptation and evolution.